What is up, everybody? I'm so excited. Me and Chris are up in here to talk about the last dance. I don't know why I'm dancing. It's just
because the last dance. You're on brand. That's what you're doing.
The last dance. It's your Fumble team here. Got you covered. I am Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
And it's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
I know your Twitter is probably blowing up right now. Is it all about the last dance, Chris?
Man, and I love when they threw that Oakley part at the end too.
Yes, I knew it.
Talking. Oh yeah.
I loved it. We got episodes 1 and 2 tonight. Yes. My overall thoughts about this was, damn, this is so good. It's just what I needed. I have some other thoughts that I'm going to share later, but Chris, what did you think? Just overall.
Yes, it was just awe. It was just awe because like we kind of said it before. It's like, you know a lot of the details, but you don't know the details to the details. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the whole Scottie. I'm fast forwarding. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yes, but one of the things that we always talk about is the greatness of Michael Jordan. To see the behind the scenes and kind of talk about his family and things of that nature, I thought was dope. Right. But yes. I think like my brother and my dad, they were all in it. They probably knew the ins and outs better than me, but I was surprised to know kind of what the GM was trying to do as far as break up the team. Did that kind of make you go, oh?
Because look, and the thing is, I did like you said, because like my dad, huge Knicks fan at that time, especially in the 90s and all that stuff. So like I knew about the whole Jerry and all that stuff, but I didn't know all of this kind of thing. So it's just cool to look at it from this perspective instead of hearing the stories from dad and watching the videos and stuff like that. Now we're getting everybody talking about it, and now you're getting a little more knowledge to the whole thing. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, one of the quotes that got me from MJ was, we've won our 5th championship. You owe us a chance to go out and try to win it again before you talk about dismantling the team. How did you like to know that they have 5 championships and Jerry's just like, nah, we need to rebuild? Like,
here's my thing, and I had to think of it because it's like you have to think it from the perspective of I know it's Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, that's the dream team right there on the Chicago Bulls squad. But then we also have to think about it the other way that we be talking about the NBA right now. These boys ain't coming back. You know that a lot of these guys ain't coming back. So we hear about all these teams that all right, well, we're probably not going to re-sign Scottie, so let's trade him so we can get something rather than lose him. We had this same conversation about Kevin Durant. So, I get it from both perspectives. But, man, when you are out here on, like, the run that they had in those 7 years, like, you just say, squash all that. I'm going to get as many exactly like the owner said. I'm getting as many chips as I can get with this until the wheels fall off, until it all blows up, and I'll deal with that later. And I think that's what they got to do with that kind of team.
Yeah, and Phil Jackson, to me, Phil Jackson is the pinnacle of, I've always said, for you guys who follow me, I've always said that one of the things that I've always been disappointed as far as LeBron's career is he's never had his Phil Jackson. He's never had that coach that can actually coach him like Phil Jackson was a coach. And to just know who Phil Jackson as a coach and to know that Jerry was like, yo, this is your last dance. That's why this name came from Phil Jackson, because Jerry was like, you can't coach here the next season. Like,
straight
threw
up.
me off.
Straight up. Just say, this is your last season, Phil. Like, that threw me off too. I'm like, I thought it was Phil that came in.
I always thought that. Me too.
Yeah, the whole time I thought it was Phil that said, all right, I'll do this one more year, but after this, I'm done. Nope, that wasn't it.
Right.
That threw me off.
One thing that totally made me, because obviously to play at the level that Michael Jordan played, you have to have an immense amount of focus. And to know that he walked in on his teammates, he said there was a corner that had lines, there was a corner that had weeds, and a corner that had girls, and then he turned around and walked out and really just didn't kick it with them after that. How did you feel about that? I was surprised.
You were surprised that he did do that?
Let me say this. I wasn't surprised, knowing what I know about Michael Jordan's career, that he did that. No, not surprised. But as a rookie, and rookies usually want to fit in and they don't want to make any waves, and for him not to just make the rookie move, it just shows how competitive he was. And I guess I was surprised that he didn't do that in his rookie. I could see him going in there in that moment and then saying, nah, after that, but to just be like, nah, off top. I thought that was dope.
See, and I think, and what's so great about this is that we're gonna keep doing like the rewind to like, you know, his childhood and stuff like that. And I feel like because of that, I wasn't too surprised because you can, even when they were talking about, you know, the time he was getting beat up by his older brother and stuff like that, and you know, he's that kind of guy where he has his mind set on something. Nothing's gonna come between me and that something, and that includes y'all foolishness. That's not what I'm here for. And I love how, and he did a good job by saying at the time when they were talking about the alcohol part, I was like, okay, Drew, I thought you were gonna say I don't drink. I know, but he said at the time, I was like, all right, Mike, good job, but all right, cool. At least we keep it 100. I was surprised because there were the rumors about that Chicago team, like they even mentioned, and he laughed about it, that team was just, you know, and it was the time, you know, cocaine and everything was crazy, right? But you know. I wasn't honestly. I can't say, even knowing who he was, just hearing the stories about family. I believe that Michael determined on one thing, and that's what he's focused on. Yeah. Okay, so
we're doing episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 kind of ends with the start of the final season. Phil Jackson gets this word that, you know, come to work and try to win, but this is it for you. And so he apparently, and I didn't know this, I thought this was dope to find out that every season Phil Jackson gave it a theme. So he's the one that gave them a playbook that said The Last Dance, which is dope. But now Scottie Pippen, look, I knew that Scottie Pippen was underpaid. I don't think I had any idea that it was like this. What was it, 18 million for 7 years or something like that? For 7,
yep. People
even for the 90s.
Yeah, that was still bad. That's still bad. Yeah.
But that's because, you know, my first thought was, what? And hands down, this was done just how my mind went. Like, I was like, why the hell would he sign this? And they were like, let's go look at his family, you know, and 12 people, 2 of them were in a wheelchair. All he wanted to do was make sure. And this, I say this all the time. When you have people that come from nothing and you give them a little bit of something, they'll either make decisions like this, like, oh my God, I got to take what I can get.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
For 7 years, 18 million, that's a lot of money. But then, you know, they don't have the people that are there telling them. And that was the number one tweet you saw from everybody at that moment. Who is his agent? Like, why is no one informing him that is not a good deal? And that's the thing, because, like, you're right. Like, when you don't have no money and you see that amount of, because 18 million to you and me is a lot of money. Right. You probably would know not to do that for 7 years, you know, but at the same time, you just see that 18 million. That's all you see. You don't care. You don't care if it's like 1 million per year or whatever it is. You see 18 million is going to be in my pockets at some point. Right. So you're signing that deal because, like you said, you have people to take care of. But man, I did not know he got fleeced like that. Like, he got completely hoodwinked.
You know, he did what I would have done. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and take this surgery late. Yeah. And I was surprised. I love that. Because my last job, my boss was like, okay, I need you to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, that is on another pay grade job description. Right. So what's my increase going to be? And he's like, well, we want you to be a team player. Yes. There's an M and an E in team though. So
okay, Kobe.
All right, what are we talking about here? You know, but I was surprised to hear Michael Jordan say that he thought Scottie was selfish at that time.
Me too. Like, I mean, I get it because, you know, Michael just all about the winning and all of that stuff. But at the same time, I was thrown aback by him. And he doubled down on it because he said several times where he was like, yeah, Scottie was being kind of selfish. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, you know your boy's situation. I understand you want to win. I know that's the end all be all with you, Michael, but come on now. That's your boy. And you know he deserved more than he was getting, and they were not taking care of him. So I don't know. I found that odd too.
Then we also learned about Michael getting his, you know, foot injury. We know that was the first injury he had. And of course he wants to play, and then they limit his minutes, which I get from a business standpoint. I get limiting his minutes.
That was really limited, but yeah. 14 minutes.
If you're only going to let him play 14 minutes a game, why are you even letting him play?
Because like, Michael wasn't. Well, I mean, you know why? Because he was very adamant to get on the court. So they were like, all right, this is what you're going to get then. But even Zion coming back from his injury got 20. You know what I'm saying? 2025. Like that's crazy.
Right. And then, you know, of course, they blow their lottery pick because of this whole, you know, Michael wills them into the playoffs. But again, you still see how valuable Scottie Pippen is because they just can't get over that hump. I would think, and I don't know because Scottie Pippen didn't say this, even in this show, years and years later, Scottie still seems a little upset about the way that he was treated. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, as he should be.
Right.
I don't disagree. He should be a slut.
Right.
So I would be upset too.
Yeah, because that's money that I still don't have right now. You know,
exactly.
So, but I was surprised that they said that Scottie got really disrespectful, but we saw through this whole both episodes that Michael kept making short jokes about him the whole time. Asked him if it was a diet pill or is a short pill. So how disrespectful did Scottie get where he overstepped his bounds?
So bad. Oh, when they showed the buses, I was like, please have some sort of microphone in that bus. But they kept saying, I heard this thing, I heard that. I'm like, no, let us hear what you guys heard. But damn, yeah, we didn't get to hear it.
If you were Jordan, especially since Jordan knows, I expected Jordan to maybe advocate because like he said too, he was like, you knew Jerry wasn't going to renegotiate your contract. He said, once we got the contract, don't come to me. But Jordan is this man now that you know, if he wants something that he's like LeBron and Kobe, you know what I mean? Like if he wants something done, he could have gotten it done.
Yep.
So when you know that you need your Robin, you didn't even try. Like I was expecting him to say, I went to him and he just went, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that never came. And that's the thing. You could tell that it was like Michael was just like, and that's Scottie. Like that's Scottie's thing. That's nothing to do with me. But it's like, no, but you know that you're trying to win. So you should probably have that conversation with Scottie. And then now we're here years later talking about, you know, that's selfish and this and that, but you never had a conversation with them about it. I feel like that's weird. Or maybe we're going to find out that did happen. I mean, maybe at the beginning and the initial phases that never happened. But yeah, me too. Even now, I feel like, you know, even though Kobe too wasn't the kind of guy that would, you know, probably very similar to Michael, where he's not going to go initially talk to a player about whatever it is. Man.
Well, you know, I will say this too. The one thing that I realized, because I feel like my stress levels have been relieved because, you know, I haven't watched sports since this whole lockdown happened. And so I've been having a lot of dialogues with self since we've been in quarantine. And because ain't nobody else here for me to talk to. Right. But one of the things I realized is how valuable sports is to us, because it gives us, you hear these kinds of stories and all of a sudden you're like, okay, he put in the work. His mom told him, like, you know, you got cut, but go out here and put in this work. So like, it just really gives you kind of that extra push. So it's bigger than basketball. It's bigger than sports, you know? So
Mike's dad even said that. Michael's dad was even saying that. He was like, you know, even though they're both, you know, strained, working, you know, mom and pop, they wanted to get him into sports. So, you know, learn life lessons. And that's the thing. And people who don't watch sports or don't understand sports, they don't see that. But like you just said, there's so much more to sports than just the actual game itself. And I think that's huge, and we're missing that right now. We're missing it a lot. Clearly.
So let's get into some of this social media. You know, tweets, Twitter was on fire. So my girl Lexi Brown said exactly what I said. She said 18 mil for 7 years. I know it's the 90s, but sheesh, I am with her on that.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that threw me off. Like you said, we knew it wasn't a lot, but man, when you get the details, that's crazy.
Somebody doesn't believe what we believe, because he said Jordan definitely dabbled in booger sugar.
Chill out. No, that's
cocaine for you guys.
For those who don't understand. Yeah, no.
You don't buy it at all.
No, I know you. Look, he's been pretty honest about the gambling and the alcohol. I'm pretty sure if he did the other stuff, he would have said something too.
Oh, this was from Damian Lillard, Damian Dollar. Yes, so we know the athletes is watching, because he says Mike from another planet. LOL. The Last Dance. Pip slept on like MF2. Yeah. CJ was in there too and says, man, Scottie deserves a bag. Like, still right now, they should go retroactively pay that man. Damian Woody said, you get Larry Bird gushing about you like that, you know you cold-blooded. And that is the truth.
I've only ever heard Larry Bird saying something nice about a basketball player in a documentary twice. And it was about Magic Johnson and it was about Michael Jordan. I'm sure we're going to hear something about Kobe because, you know, in his times when he was running the front office and blah, blah, blah. But Larry Bird, whenever he says something, is normally not very nice about whatever basketball player he's going against. And to hear him gush about Michael Jordan after destroying them. I mean, Michael had some games, but the Celtics destroyed him, and he's still over there talking about Michael Jordan. What did he say? He said that wasn't Michael Jordan, that was God.
Yeah,
in human form. Yeah,
in human form. I'm like, God got a gambling problem, but you know.
I think he just meant that night. Like, God checked out afterwards. No. But that was huge, man. That was huge.
Yeah, I thought it was, and one of my favorite lines. You know, Magic is like one of the end all be all, just human beings to me. And he said, we knew that MJ was coming. He just needed the right horses around him. So That is that's like a great. I just can't wait to see these next 2 episodes. Are they gonna give us 2 every week? It's 2 every week, right?
Bro.
Because I can't do 2 in 1. That's gonna make me real mad.
That would make me even more upset. Give us 2, and then from now on we can only get 1 every Sunday. No, don't do that to us. No, you're giving us 2 every week now.
Yeah, but I'm excited. This was a great way to end the Sunday. It was a great way to end the weekend because, we would be in playoffs right now. So we definitely needed this. I appreciate you, ESPN.
Yes. And whatever stuck out to you guys, let us know in the comment section below. Maybe we might take some of y'all stuff and we'll talk about it next week. Who knows? But yeah, we keep talking. I want to hear what everyone has to say because this is crazy. I know some of you kids don't even know half this stuff. So what are you learning for the first time? If you do know about it, what's good? Let us know. And
always, even if you're in the live, just say something about Michael. We'll probably talk about it because we really have nothing else to talk about right now. So yeah.
Right, for real.
So yeah. So once again, for the Fumble, I'm Jackie Ray, and you can follow me on all things social media at Jerry the Fanatic. Chris.
Boy, Chris, find me everywhere at CK2K.
Keep that MJ magic up, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time.
Pay Scottie.
Yes, right now.